So you found this guy. You want to know whether there's a future there.
Right.
We hold off on sex with this guy.
Right.
But because we're humans
And we have needs.
and we have needs, we need to fulfill those needs with
Ding, 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 ding. Side dick.
Oh, you went Dr. Ruth on me. Well, welcome to season 2 of Talk Fast, Listen Slow. I'm Angela.
I'm Kat.
We're back, guys. We are back.
Can you believe it?
Partially. I mean, a few things have happened last year. I mean, just like a few things. How has your life been?
I mean, I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe. So that's interesting.
You know, pandemic, global pandemic, aliens showed up for a little bit, but then they went back. I mean, do we blame them?
I mean, no. I would be piecing out of this planet.
If we had the option, we'd not be here. So wait, did you do any pandemic things? Like, did you do any other pandemic things?
Baking banana bread?
Okay, check.
No.
Oh, I did that. I did. Okay, what else?
TikTok challenges? No.
No. What?
No. The terrible bachata classes that people. Okay, we have to talk about.
That is a long conversation.
You need to stop. You're not Dominican. This is not how we dance bachata. As Dominicans, Angela and I are both highly offended. No.
You're on my shit list, is what she's saying. You do not want to be on my list, and now you're on my list. Like, these people, what is up? What is with the twirling? They all look like, you know, what is it? A dolphin out of the water?
Did you see that one?
I'm done. I'm just like over everyone.
Like, where do people come up with these dance moves? Like, have you ever, first of all, do you know where the Dominican Republic is? Because I've been asked if it's in the Pacific.
I mean.
So sometimes I just go with it and be like, yeah, it's right there.
America. Okay, what else? Did you do any drive-in movies?
No.
I did one and I regretted it because then they sat me in like a table at a corner.
No.
It was like, how is this a drive-through? There's cars on the other side and I'm sitting in a table across the street.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. Also, like, I don't like food in my car. I don't like my food smelling my car. I don't like people in my car.
You don't like people. Let's just
period.
Let's just be realistic. You just don't like people in your car at all.
Yes. It's the truth. She knows me better than anyone.
Seriously. But you know what? I will say the pandemic has given us all a little bit of a pause.
Oh, wait.
Uh-huh.
Did you make $1 million side hustle?
No. I also did not hook up with my ex.
Okay.
So
did you buy stock on GameStop? No, we didn't.
No.
Okay.
Did not.
Michael did.
Michael did and lost.
I went a little crazy on the crypto and I only bought a couple GameStop, but I did buy some cryptocurrency and actually I did well. But
okay, so we're pretty soon we're gonna have our Talk Fast studio. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your sponsorship money. I love it. Yeah.
Did you hook up with the next? No, we got that.
I did not. So you know, like, we lose some and we win some. I did not fall trap because it's a trap, ladies. Do not. They are bored. Okay, you are not the you are not the long lost love.
No,
you are the bored right now. Who am I gonna text tonight?
You're the curiosity. Like, let's see, you're the curiosity. You're the like, well, who else is, because no one else is available, then no, come on.
Who's going to put up with my bullshit today? And there she is.
Not me.
Ain't nobody got time, girl.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So wait, on that topic, any pandemic romance?
Well, you tell me.
Wait, what? I asked the question. It's not how it goes.
I can't answer a question with a question. What are you talking about?
That is not in the rule books.
Well,
so okay, even if you didn't, what do you think of pandemic dating?
I mean, I think it was very interesting to see how a lot of people found the love of their lives. I know some people that.
Do you though?
Well, you know,
I'm being sarcastic right now.
You know how I feel about that.
This is true. Can you tell us a little more? Unpack that for me, please.
Well, I have to say I did go on a few dates and I had the biggest realization. I mean, I always knew, but kind of the pandemic confirmed it.
Sure.
That you know, Angela, I'm just not made for relationships. I'm not.
You know how many hearts just did you hear that? Did you hear the sound of hearts breaking?
I love listen, I love the whole thing of going on dates.
Sure.
Excitement. Mm-hmm. It only lasts about 3 dates because after that I'm like,
Next.
I can't. I'm I value my independence so much. I don't like people in my space.
Sure.
And also, like, if you're not stimulating me mentally, the physical chemistry only goes so long.
So wait a minute. So are you going to be George Clooney and then meet someone at the end and maybe like changes your life? Like, are you open to this? Like,
I'm definitely open, but I have to say, even the idea of, and I was talking about this with Eli before coming here, the Eli of being in a relationship, it makes me feel like I'm tied down. I can't promise someone that I'm going to love you forever. That's just unrealistic. I can't promise you that.
I can barely promise I'm going to show up to dinner, honestly.
Listen, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. So that's one thing. Another thing is like, just recently someone talked about marriage to me. And I'm like, no.
They wanted to put a ring on it and you said no?
This is my out. This is my out. I'm literally Julia Roberts in Runaway Bride. That's me.
Wow.
Except I don't take the hobbies of the people that I date. Because in that movie, she was taking on the hobbies.
Right. You're still Kat throughout the whole thing.
Throughout the whole time.
This is hilarious. This is so good.
I get cold feet.
Okay.
I've
Where's this coming from? Tell me about your childhood. Come on, let's unpack your childhood right now.
Well, actually, this doesn't have to do with the childhood. I think, well, in a sense, it does in a way that I grew up being very independent.
It all does. It all stems from childhood.
Everything goes back. Yeah, everything goes back from the womb. But I also feel that for me, my perspective is that when people talk about marriage, that immediately translates to, okay, that's a divorce, that's not gonna work, bye, like get out of there. And also, again, feeling like someone is choking me. I feel como que me está faltando, como que me falta el aire.
I mean, you like choking though, so don't go crazy.
Choking and pulling the hair. That's a different kind. That's different.
Let's be honest here. Let's not.
Listen, I don't deny, girl. I don't deny it.
Okay. So we're basically claustrophobic about relationships is what you're saying.
That's a good way to put it. I'm claustrophobic about relationships.
Okay. So you have a threshold. You're like, okay, listen, 3 days, have fun, but don't get attached.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes. And also, this goes back to, because right now, I do like the idea of having fun. And that's how I'm taking it, having fun. But in order for it to be a little bit more, because it can go a little bit more, but I have to be
you've been in relationships before.
Of course. But I have to be mentally stimulated, And I think the mental stimulation turns me on much more, and it helps to have like better orgasms, right? To have better sex.
We're going deep. We're going deep in this one. Okay.
But
gotcha.
But one of the things that for sure I've been doing is not having sex on the first, second, or the third date, because I think it's really important to get to know this human being in front of you, to really know this person. Like, do you like this human being that you're hanging out with? If you have sex with them on the first date, on the second date, you got all those hormones
clouds your judgment.
It clouds your judgment.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck with someone that you really didn't like anyway. And then you go through heartbreaks and withdrawal. And it's like, no.
Okay, so you're being strategic. So look, what I'm getting and gathering out of this whole thing is you're being strategic about meeting someone that you could potentially like, but you're doing all the right things in the sense that, hey, listen, even if this is for a short time or a long time or a fun time, I'm going to make sure that you're the right person.
Well, no, because for the fun times, I have others.
Oh,
that's different.
Let me adjust my legs. Okay.
That's different. That's different. But enough about me.
Side D? That's side D?
Oh, baby.
Okay.
We'll get that. We'll get to that. But let's talk about you.
Me and pandemic.
You and pandemic, because
I dated someone during the pandemic.
And?
Broke my fucking heart.
He did, huh?
Well, I broke my own fucking heart. So that's another thing. I think like there's something we really need to, as women, stop telling each other, oh, he did this to you, he did that to you, deserve so much better. No. Girl, what's your trauma? Let's talk about the shit that you're doing. Let's talk about the things that you need to be working on. And I think in many ways, this relationship, if you will, because anything to a certain extent is a relationship, really taught me the things that I need to work on and the things that I need to better for myself, not for this person. I feel like once you're steady and you're in a good place, you'll be able to see those red flags from the beginning. You know, you won't be dating narcissists anymore.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was healing a lot of that childhood stuff that needed to be attached to someone at an early stage.
Right.
And so the sex part, I completely relate to. I think it's, we had this conversation before, but I think until you actually feel it, until you actually experience it, you realize.
Absolutely. Because there are some things that you understand.
Sure.
Mentally.
Logically, yeah.
Right? Logically, but it really has to be like you have to feel it in your body on a visceral level. Yeah,
it clicks eventually.
You feel it.
This whole self-love thing.
So I mean, it clicked on you.
It clicked. It materialized inside of me. And I think it was one of those things that I realized, Angela, you're not loving yourself. You're not loving yourself enough. And until you love yourself and respect yourself, you will keep repeating, you will keep accepting little crumbs when you really should be getting the whole cookie.
Now, all this self-love talk thing, I have a question.
I have all day.
Is there a point that you love yourself so much and you fulfill yourself so much that you just don't want anybody else?
Are you just answering the question with your question?
I'm asking you. I don't know. Like, Michael, what do you think? Do we get to that point of that you love yourself so much? You're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm
Dude, I messed up a lot with relationships. Like, I got married. I'm divorced. So I got married super young, made a lot of mistakes, and then met Amber, my wife now, which was amazing. So I didn't have like a lot of time to myself. I pretty much went from like divorce to
marriage,
making a lot of other mistakes to finding Amber. She cleaned me up, and then we got married. So she helped me a lot. I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah, Amber truly is a healer, though.
Do you think you were ready, though? Do you think you were emotionally ready for that?
I was, because it was about a 3-year gap between.
And I think that's the important part. Yeah. Men cannot really rebound and be in a relationship. They have to heal that part before they can actually find love. And I think that's something very important. And I think women, we lie to ourselves all the time. We're like, but he hasn't met me. Oh, he hasn't had this one. He's gonna realize.
Like, we're the 8th wonder of the world. Like, come on, no,
girl.
You know what's the 8th wonder of the world?
What?
New pussy.
Yeah, new
pussy. The one that he's never had.
Yeah, that's the best
pussy he's never had. Michael?
No comment.
No comment on that one. Huh?
Legit. I think women need to stop lying to themselves. Girl, you are not better than the last girl. You're not better than the next girl.
Tú no eres la última Coca-Cola del desierto. Like, wake up.
You know, it's funny because I translated that. I used to say that all the time to my ex. I'm like, listen, you're not the last Coke of the desert. And he would always laugh when I was mad and angry. And he's like, that doesn't exist in English. I'm like, well, I just made it up. So
exactly.
Relax. But yeah, I think as women, we need to stop lying to ourselves about bettering ourselves as people. Like, sometimes you need to bring your girl aside and say, like, hey, you're messing up. You need to work on this. You need to work on your temper. It's not him, it's you. And I think we're doing a disservice to each other by not doing that.
Well, and actually, I have to say that it really is me. It's not you. Like, when I say that I complete myself so much and that I feel comfortable with myself. Sure. I think being on my own and in my space is my comfort zone. So it really isn't about something that they did. It really is me.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'm the problem.
Well, no, you're not the problem, because at the end of the day, I think once you start doing this work and you're such a peaceful place, you can sense when people are not there. So I think to a certain extent, if that person's not in the same emotional and spiritual place that you are, that shit is itchy. You just like run away from that real quick.
Oh, completely. So like with this person that you were dating, like, did you wait to have sex, or did you have sex on the first date? Like,
how did it wasn't? Here's the thing. It wasn't supposed. It was like not supposed to happen. So I didn't. There was not an emotional plan attached.
Oh, yes. I remember when you were... Okay, here's a story.
Yeah.
And I remember
I was like so excited about it. I was like,
she was
this
going
happened.
out on the date, and we were talking after.
Yeah.
And I said... And I remember asking, did you have sex with him? And she's like, yeah, but whatever. I'm like, oh,
I know.
No.
Because we also do that. We also are like, no, but it's fine. Like, it works for Susan. It's going to work for me.
No. And well.
No. Yeah, because it wasn't supposed to be that. I think it was like smack in the middle of pandemic. No one had been seeing anyone. you know, and so it was one of those things that it kind of just happened. And then we tried to make a relationship afterwards, and I was ready, but he wasn't. And I think there was a lot of not knowing how to communicate that stuff that turned into a lot of upheaval and just crying.
Now, let me ask you something. So you now know this person. Do you like that human being?
I mean, we're blocked from everything, so I don't know what you're asking.
Okay. So do you think that if you didn't have sex with him on the first date and you taken the time, do you think you would have still liked him to?
Absolutely not. Because you can see the things that person hasn't healed. I think he's a good person. I'm not going to villainize that.
No, of course.
Because that's also something that we do. Once we are done with the person, we villainize them. That person, men aren't shit and all this kind of stuff. That is not true. We need to stop doing that stuff. That person's a great person. He's just not in a place where he can be good to me or really any other woman.
Or to himself, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so those are two different conversations. I think, to your point, had I dated him a few times, and not gotten intimate with him, I would have seen those signs really early on.
Right.
As opposed to smack when I'm just like, oh, we're in Santa Barbara now, crying.
Right.
This is not going to work out.
Well, you know, it's and going back to what we were talking last night, it's just also men and women are wired so differently. And actually, Whitney Cummings made a wonderful movie about this. The Female Brain, I think it's called.
Yes. It's a book too.
Whitney Cummings, she directed it. She's acting also in it. It's a great movie. It's really funny. And it really puts in, like, you can really see in the movie how men's brains work versus women's brain.
Towards relationships.
Towards relationship, but in general, we're wired completely differently.
It's biology. As much as we want to be feminist, and I think feminism, they're going to come for me at Twitter, but feminism in a lot of ways has like messed up with the female brain in the sense that, well, I can do whatever I want and I can, I can be just as much as a man does. And it's like sometimes that's just the role of biology. Like we do need to let men pursue sometimes. Always, maybe.
Well, yes, but because also, las mujeres, women, we fall in love through the ears, right?
Right.
What they tell us.
And Lord knows they say whatever.
They will say anything to get that kitty.
Did it hurt when you fell out of heaven?
Oh my God. Mami, si tú caminas como cocina, guarda mucho del concón. Come on, we all know that stuff.
All of them.
And men, it starts with the eyes, right? They gotta like what they see.
Period.
And so they're gonna say whatever it takes to get you to bed.
And sometimes they believe it in the moment. Okay, 100%. We're not saying they're lying. We're just saying that they're very like in the moment.
So for women, if we have sex too soon, it clouds our judgment. We're already, the majority of women, there are exceptions to the rules.
There are exceptions to rules.
The majority of women think, okay, we're in a relationship, we're getting married, there's already a marriage.
I already booked my hotel. The whole thing.
The whole thing. Where with men, you have sex, they have sex on the first day. It's like, okay.
Thanks.
They start thinking clear when they have sex on the first day. It's like, nope. Yeah, I'm clear. She's not the one. When women, it's, oh, he's the one. And really, he isn't. Makes sense? So women think.
Women get attached after sex. Men make a decision after sex whether they're going to keep dating you or not.
Well, men confirm what they already know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
here's the thing. I think there's, obviously we're generalizing, so not every case, but I do believe there's truth in waiting and making a man wait, because it will be a conquest. At the end of the day, men
they're hunters.
Fighters. Exactly. So they need to have a conquest.
Have to.
Yes.
But also that's a way to creating a bond.
Exactly.
To really getting to know each other. Michael, how, we know you're a married man right now. I'm very faithful, happily married. But before this, how was it for you? If you had sex with a girl on a first date,
would you make a judgment call?
Or do you stay interested in that person, or would you just move on?
So we actually had this conversation recently. And so after my first divorce, I kind of went crazy a little bit.
Michael gone wild.
But what's interesting about it is that with each girl, I kind of just knew. I was like, this is just somebody, you know what I mean? They know it. We've talked about that and it's fine. when Amber came along, it was like all of it changed. It was like I actually don't want to do anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Because because I wanted to see how it was. But actually he was a healed
man. I feel like men that are not healed don't have that clear.
Well, I mean, maybe. Yeah. Maybe, but also you guys didn't have, you waited on before having sex.
Man, it was probably like at least a year.
There you go.
What?
Yeah.
So that's amazing. That made it more clear for him. He had an idea that he liked this human being and he wanted to give it a try. And because he likes her,
he pursued her.
No, not only pursue that, he decided to hold off on the sex because someone that he doesn't care for, he'll have sex with her and walk out.
It sounds so horrible.
No, but
it's biology.
Yeah,
it's biology.
No, for sure.
And as much as we want to, we're gonna get dragged.
We just want to be like,
we're gonna get dragged,
real.
But we're gonna get dragged for this. And here's the thing, I think there are exceptions to every rule, obviously. And I all the time. I know it's hot in here. I do hear all the time women saying, "Oh, we met and we did on a first date and now we're married." Sure, it happens, but those are stories. It's why we tell them. Those are the exceptions.
That's Disney.
Those are the exceptions, not the rules. Is why we talk about those things. So Susan exists, but we know one Susan that this happened to. For the most part, if you don't want to keep hitting your head against the wall, I think maybe try something differently. It's all we're saying. So yeah, so I learned my lesson with that one. I went deep. The pandemic made us go inside, but then we had to emotionally go inside as well. And I think I definitely did that. And I'm very thankful for that.
Right.
So yeah.
So I think a solution, right? Because we're talking about like what not to do, but we should offer solutions at the same time. So ladies,
subscribe.
Kidding. If there's a guy that you really like and you think that possibly, this could be
a dating scenario. We're not talking husband yet.
Yeah,
we're talking about dating.
Be the guy that I have something more, serious, a relationship with, and you really want to hold off a little bit because you really like him and you want this to be serious,
or you want to know if you like him because sometimes it gets chemistry goes crazy sometimes.
Completely.
Yeah,
but you kind of have an idea that you think you like this person and you think this could be a serious relationship.
Sure.
What's a solution? Ding 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 ding. Side dick.
Oh,
she
took that in a direction. I was like, I thought we were talking about emotional stuff.
Because
she just went side D on me. I was like,
hold on.
I was pulling Oprah quotes.
We have needs.
Yeah, but
too.
I was pulling Oprah quotes, and you went Dr. Ruth on me. I was okay. You need to tell me when you're going to go Dr. Ruth on me.
You need to have a side dick, or some people need to have several because you can also get attached to the side dick, right?
Okay,
side daddy.
Wait a minute. We're entering. Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, so let's explain this. So let's go back. So you found this guy, he looks good on paper. He's handsome, whatever. You had dinner. You can tolerate him. You want to know whether there's a future there.
Right.
We hold off on sex with this guy.
Right.
But because we're humans.
Right. And we have needs.
We need to fulfill those needs with
side dick.
Okay, so talk to me about this.
Because also, by the way,
I'm taking notes.
By the way, the guy that you really like is not only talking with you.
Oh, hell no.
Okay?
That's real clear. That's real clear.
I'm sure Michael was only talking to his wife when he was dating her. There was no one else.
Not date one or two.
Michael is clearly the exception that makes the rule.
Sure.
I wasn't perfect, though. Believe me. We had a lot of ups and downs and things to get through. A lot of things that I had to unlearn.
Absolutely. Habits.
So. And she gave you the space to do so.
Yeah.
So, but yes. So, okay. So let's go back to this. So
yes. So you need someone that you like enough because you still have to like this human being and enjoy their company.
Yeah.
Right.
Bodily fluids are going to be exchanged.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Safely, get tested first. Kids, be safe. Use protection.
This show is turning into an all the things. Okay. Keep going. So
it's 2021, baby.
Is it? I totally forgot. Okay.
But yes, it has to be someone that you like enough to have sex with, but not enough to spend the night. So we need to make certain rules and boundaries, right?
Okay, so that's important. So in order to safely practice Safe D, ladies, there's a rule book. And what's in this rule book?
Definitely no sleeping over.
No sleeping over.
I mean, there's no sleeping over at my place anyway.
Period.
She's
like, listen, either you leave or you're gone. I don't know what you're doing.
Yes. It has to be someone.
It's fast food.
Well, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a dine-in.
No, this is not,
It's not a
this is not the Michelin 5-star or anything like that.
This is takeout, bring a napkin, bye. Okay.
Exactly.
So okay, no sleeping over. What else?
Yes. In your case, because
I need a lot of rules.
Yeah, like you, Angela.
I am emotional.
Well, we're all emotional.
Yeah.
All of us are. But
Uh-huh.
in your case, Angela loves to cook
for
do. People. She loves having people over. And
yes.
Not me. So no cooking. No cooking.
Okay, so what you're saying is nothing that I would do for a significant other, I do for side D.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Because this is fun.
Okay, cool. That's going to have to be a lot of unlearning on my part because I'm like, did you want banana bread? What's happening? It's not. Okay, cool. Don't do that.
No. Okay. Definitely no sleeping over.
No sleeping over, no cooking for them. What else?
No texting every day. No.
Oh, okay. So no constant communication.
I actually don't like that anyway.
Oh, God. This is merging into a whole different conversation. Let's stick to this ID, Kat. Okay. So do not tell him what happened in your day. He doesn't give a shit. No. You don't give it. Yeah. Like,
I mean, some side Ds are actually friends.
Oh, that can get complicated though.
Maybe. I mean, not always.
She's thinking of someone.
I've had experiences.
She's like, John or Michael, which I have. Okay. So no constant communication for the most part. We're keeping general rules here.
Yeah, no constant communication, no cooking.
No cooking.
No bringing out your best wine. No.
They better bring the wine.
If anything, they come over. Again, you still have to like this human being because you're going to spend time with them and, you have
But
to
this is a placeholder. Let's be clear.
Chemistry.
Let's be clear that this is just while you're getting to know the person you want to date.
Right.
So this is not like a perpetual conversation.
But if you're someone that gets attached, and we're going to talk about that as well.
Yeah, attachment styles.
Yes, but then you're going to need more than one side D.
So me, basically. Girl, I can't even do one. I'm going to have to do 3. I can't.
You have to.
This is getting complicated.
You have to.
How does one find 3 side Ds in the pandemic?
That's very easy. You're a woman. Easy.
Well,
easy.
My DMs are going to be blowing the hell up even more.
They already are. I'm sure they
it's
are.
Crazy.
So, for a woman, girls, it's so easy.
Seriously.
We know we're the ones that make the decision.
We forget though sometimes. Yeah. We forget sometimes.
You just want to have good sex. It's very easy to find. Listen. Let's not even get started.
Okay.
With the options that we know that you have, that we all have, right? Yeah.
So this is just while you're getting to know this other person, if it goes anywhere, and then
because by the way, he's doing it too.
Yes. Let's be clear.
You're not the only one. He's like, oh baby, you're so beautiful.
No,
I miss you. How was your? You're not the only one.
And going back to the Disney movie situation, I think Western civilization has romanticized the idea of dating to an extent where it makes it so crazy, right? He met me on Thursday, by Sunday he's gonna ask me to be his wife. Like, no, bitch, like that's not how it works.
And the happily ever after, it creates these super high expectations and also the diamond industry has perpetuated this.
Of course.
Because if you only have one, if you're someone like, let's just say, if it's like you'll probably get attached. Right.
And let's explain that. So I have something, and we all have a love attachment. We all have a way that we attach during romantic love. And there's a great book that if you haven't read, you definitely should read. It's called Attached. And it talks about the 4 love attachments. Mine, it's anxious attachment. And how does that show up? That shows up because somehow in my childhood, I had inconsistent love. So mom would love me one day, but then 3 weeks go by and I don't see my mom, for example. And so whenever this person comes into your life, you hold on to dear life because or in your mind, you think that it's just going to go away. So any little bit of love becomes overwhelmingly like a drug, essentially. And that's something that I've worked really hard at healing and at working on. But I have to be very careful and very knowledgeable that trauma is there. We're grown-ups. We're old here. I think a lot of people have traumas and things that have plagued their life, but they have to choose to be different, right? We have to choose to make better decisions.
Everything is a choice. Being monogamous is a choice.
Sure.
By the way.
Of course. Anyway, so I have that type of attachment. And to your point, I have to be very careful with how I interact with the opposite sex, right? Because I do not want to catch myself in a situation where side D turns into, psychosis and love of my life situation.
Right. So what are the types of attachment? Because I'm wondering what would be my type of Attachment. Do I have an attachment?
You're avoidant all day long. I am avoidant is basically like, I'm always busy. I have so much going on. Yes, you can come over, but like I'm always busy.
We all that.
Yeah. So you basically create all these things in your life to not deal with this person.
I've turned into a man.
Well, it's not just men, but yeah, you have that sort of love attachment or detachment in this case.
Yes. Interesting.
It's very interesting. It's a good book to read. I feel like it's changed my life in many ways.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Well, this has been our first episode back. We're super excited to be back, aren't we? Are you excited?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited to be back in the studio. I mean, how many Zooms if we do? That's
too many. Too many. I don't want to Zoom anyone ever again.
No, I just want to. Thank you, Zoom, but I just feel like I want to throw my
fuck you, Zoom. Stop
and everything away. No, because it helped. It's been helping, but I'm so happy that we're back in the studio.
We're back in the studio. We have a lot more fresh content for you guys. You can find us on IG at Talk Fast Listen and Listen. Also, please review us on Apple and on Spotify. It makes a big difference so that others can also find this awesome content. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Mwah.